Does your mom have a full bush?
Oh, jeez. We're all right. We out. Back to the show.
Most importantly, guys, does your mom have a full bush?
Jesus, that's what you guys talked about on the other episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Because my mom had a full orange bush. It wasn't even red. It was orange because she was a strawberry blonde. And God, you know how things are so formative as a little kid where you're just like, I can't get that out of my mind. It's just years of like a clown orange. And she would do her makeup in the nude. I'm like, it's the most uncomfortable thing. I've tried getting ready in the nude because in the beginning of my young life, I modeled after my mother. I was like, okay, I'm going to get ready in the nude. Because she had a good reason. She was like, well, here's why you get ready nude, because your makeup, your hair, everything will get on your outfit. So you put on the outfit last. And I was like, that's really intuitive because I've done that a million times. I put my outfit on and then I get fucking makeup on it and I want to die. So she makes sense. And then I tried getting ready in the nude, and because my mother, I have hangy tits, right? I've got big tits. So of course, like the minute I would dry my hair, the heat of that, like I get sweaty tits like under my tit meat, just drenched in sweat. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. And then, somebody walks in on you and you're like, I'm just naked doing my makeup. It's so uncomfortable. Oh my God, I just had a flashback. The worst. Oh my God. I don't know okay, let's play a game called Most Traumatic Childhood Memory. But nothing about being molested or anything. I'm just like a fun one.
Right, something that imprinted on you that never left you.
Okay, let's play fun trauma.
Boy.
Okay,
this is
ready?
Be fun, yeah.
Okay. I don't think there's anything more traumatic than this memory of my mother nude. And again, like her naked body, very similar to my naked body because we're related, duh. So, I want to puke. So she would tell me always about her vagina. Oh my God, I hated this. She'd be like, Christina, I tell you, men don't like women with stinky pussy. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm fucking in third grade. Like I don't even know what a stinky pussy is. Why would your pussy stink? I don't understand. Men don't like women with stinky pussy. And I was like, oh, like that's the beginning of that. And then she would tell me about like periods and all this stuff. And I think it was just so much. So then one time, first of all, she had a douchebag under her sink, like an old school orange bulb with the black thing douchebag, which was just like, it's so mortifying to find your mom's douchebag as a little girl. You're like, oh my God, am I going to have to put this inside of me at some point? Does everybody do this? Why is it so hard? Like, it's just so gross. So the memory I have, I want to fucking throw up. She would be putting in her tampon. Oh my God, I'm going to die. It gets so hard to even say. And she'd be nude, right? So the orange clown pussy. And then she put her leg up on, so like one leg on the floor, one leg up on the counter. And that's how she would put in her tampon. And I'm like, that is so aggressive. Like you don't need to like spread that. I've never had to like do a split to get my tampon in. And it was just so much. And I remember just like, oh my God. Anyway, that's like probably the most traumatic. Like my mom's leg up on the counter or her naked leg up on the toilet. I'm like, does that win? Okay, what do you have?
Christ.
Yeah. Okay, let's do fun traumatic childhood memories. I mean, fun meaning like benign. You weren't molested or abused.
Right. Nothing that you need to go to actual therapy for, but just like
enough,
sentences or images that stuck in your head.
Enough.
So growing up, we had like 2 toilets downstairs, and we had the good one, and then we had the one that was like kind of shallow and like didn't really like it wasn't the one you preferred to shit in.
Sure.
And so I remember like I was waiting for the good toilet. And my mom was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm waiting for the good toilet. And she's like, why don't you just use the other one? And then like kind of jokingly, but I definitely meant it. I was like, whenever I sit there, like my balls kind of touch the bottom of the porcelain. And she just made this sound. I was like, oh, like approvingly, and I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, you don't want like.
Yeah, that replays a lot in my head. I don't like it.
I think when your parents refer to anything sexual, it's so vomitous. The worst is like, I remember my dad telling like sexual jokes and laughing in front. I was like, I want to fucking puke. When you know, or just any sexual comment, you're like, oh my God, I don't even want to think of you in that capacity. It's so gross.
Oh yeah, like weird racist stuff that your dad says that like even today you're like, I don't know how that racist.
Oh no, I laugh at the racist stuff. I like that. It's the sexual stuff. The racist stuff I'm so used to, and it's so like, you know what I mean? It's so part of like my family's culture, racism. And the irony being like my mom married an Indian man and we were openly racist about Indians and Hungarian. Like it was like, I mean, I don't know. It didn't, my dad's a full, yeah, his like, he's fully like, I don't like, you know, Hungary is like super xenophobic and like they close off borders and like they don't let in like anybody. He's super for it. He's like, well, yeah, I mean, what's the problem? Like you want to keep your culture clean. Like, you know, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that kind of thinking got us into a few wars, Dad. That's not really, I don't know. It just makes me laugh when he's racist, especially because we we lived in Los Angeles. So it's a major city. Like if you're racist, you can't live in LA, New York, San Francisco. Like, why are you living in a big city? Go live in the country because you're gonna see all these, your neighbor's gonna be fucking whatever, you know, Persian, Puerto Rican, Israeli, like good luck. Annie, do you have any? I feel like Annie's got a treasure trove of minorly traumatic moments.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, most of them major, but yeah, if I'm thinking minor.
I know, it's so hard, isn't it? I know.
It's tough to weed
it's
those out.
So tough. Samesies. I know exactly what you mean.
Minor was definitely, I mean, my dad wasn't around too long, but for the time that he was around, it was definitely going in the back. I guess because I wasn't around him enough that this was so weird to me. I was kind of older, you know, and so
Yeah.
I just, I mean, quick story, I just caught him in the bathroom. I went in the bathroom.
He was taking a shit.
No, he was taking a piss, but it was just that his dick didn't look like mine. I was like, what the fuck did I just see? I was scared. I'm like, does my mom know about this? Like,
she knows.
Yeah, she knew.
She approves.
Yeah, it was scary.
God, seeing your
just a
dad's
scary
dick.
spot. Yeah.
Oh, that just triggered another memory.
Seeing your dad's dick is...
It's the worst.
I think we all have.
Everyone's seen him. Chad, you seen your dad's dick?
Yeah, I think everybody has.
Everybody in the world? Is he on the internet?
Yeah, well,
What if
no,
your dad
but-
was like Leo this whole time? He's like, you bet I'm coming up in May. You've seen your dad's dick?
Yeah. I
Like
think he was-
peeing and stuff?
I think he was coming out of the shower. No, I know he was because it was burned into my memory. He was definitely coming out of the shower. Yeah.
It's like, and like,
Yeah, dads always like to be like, hey, you want to see a dad
I
dick?
know. It's so gross. And like, I remember like both my parents were so disturbingly nude all the freaking time. And then oh my God, I saw my stepdad's dick once. It was so gross. Like, I think I caught him coming out of like the shower too. Like I just came into their bedroom and I was like, and like my stepdad was like a fat Indian man. So like it was comical, you know, like he had this huge belly. He was so sweet. But then like once you see their genitals, it just taints the like once you see somebody's genitals, I feel like it just completely changes the dynamic. Like, why though? It's like it's so silly because now I see children's genitals, you know, I see my children's genitals and I don't even think anything, but to see a grown man's genitals, like if I were to see your guys' genitals, everything would change.
Oh, for us too. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see it, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause you just don't see it.
But it's so harmless. It's like, so what? It's just skin and I don't know. I'm trying to think philosophically why it bothered, but maybe because it's the age. Like if I were to see your genitals now, maybe it wouldn't faze me. I'd be like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I thought your dick would look like, Nadav. Like, congratulations, you matched my expectations. Or
Thank you.
yeah, like, Annie, I knew you had a big one. Congratulations. Like, we kind of know a little bit about your genitals. Maybe as an adult, it wouldn't faze me. Because I was a teenager when I saw my stepdad's dick.
I could definitely speak for myself. It's just that I never saw anything like that, you know? Like, especially, I think it's also because I compare it to me.
Right, as a little kid, or as a teenager,
I'm a tiny boy. Well, I was a boy. I was a little boy. So I've never seen anything like that. I was like, what is that, you know? I feel like a part of me thought, like, is he sick? Like, is something wrong with him?
Something
so young.
It's so big. And like pubic hair, I think that too, where you're like, what is that? Like, why is there hair there? What the fuck is that? And why grow that there? It's so alarming and scary. I know. And like, I've had adult friends tell me like, you know, our kid walked in on us having sex. And I was like, there's a thing called a fucking lock that you can put on your door, shithead. And I'm so cognizant of that because I've walked in on my dad banging like so many people that I know. Talk about real trauma. Like, that's like the real shit I talk about in therapy. Not like this silly my mom's red bush, but like that was so traumatic for me to see my parents banging, not my biological. I'm saying like, you know, I never saw my mom bang, but my dad, I was like, oh my God. So the minute we moved to Texas, it was like priority number one, like put a lock on the freaking door, dude.
Did you ever see your dad shitting?
Oh, like it's
like an open door policy.
What are you talking about?
Shit, right?
It's like seeing him eat. Yeah, of course I saw them. But most importantly, I smelled my dad's shits, and his shits were like beer shits because he would drink like a 12er every fucking work night. Yeah. My dad was a beer drinker, so literally, like if I was living with him, he picked me up from school. We'd go to the 7-Eleven or the liquor store. There's a few spots in the valley I very clearly know. I would buy the imitation Barbie from the 7-Eleven, which is Ryan Sickler calls Darby. And if you know, you know. If you grew up with a parent that took you to like 7-Eleven, there's like knockoff toys. And then, he'd drink his beer. And then the next morning, wake up early as shit to go to work. And the smell of his beer shit would permeate down the hall to my room. And that's how I would wake up in the morning, is smelling my dad's alcoholic beer shit. It's so gnarly. Tom asks me to tell him this story on occasion. That's how much he loves the story. He's like, tell me again about your dad's shits. I'm like, okay. And it's interesting because this is such a random thing too, is that like I've walked into bathrooms specifically like after dudes of shit, and I've been like, that's a beer shit. Like I know the smell of a beer shit from my dad. Isn't that terrible?
That's really cool.
Such a cool talent, huh?
Yeah.
So rad.
Yeah, you're like, oh, those are booze poos. I know what that is.
Yeah, booze poos. Like Blue's Clues. Booze poos. So cool. Gosh, what a neat life I've had. Thanks, Dad. Did you like that highlight? I mean, how much fun was that? Why don't you watch a bunch more? We made a bunch more for you to watch. And then why don't you subscribe to my show? Subscribe to Where My Mom's At. That way, every time I drop an episode, you just get it. You don't have to think about it. And then hit the notification bell so you can get notified of all the great stuff that I make. Watch other highlight. Treat yourself. Get your life right.